Hello and welcome. My name is Barry Naroff, and this will be the next in the series of videos that I'll be doing. Today's topic is going to be on musturbation. Musturbation is a term that was coined by the late psychologist Albert Ellis. And Albert used to do weekly lectures in his beautiful townhouse on the Upper East Side, and it was open to the public. So I got to hear him several times. Very interesting, somewhat out there psychologist. Now, musturbation is just a term that he coined, but it categorizes all the subjects of things like shoulds, have to, need to, and all the corollaries. Now, shoulds are a very, very powerful force in people's lives. Some people live their entire life based on shoulds. Some cultures lead their entire existence based on shoulds. I should do this. I have to do that. I must do this. These are forms of shoulds, of really judgmentalism imposed on the self, either by the self or by external culture. But when you have these type of shoulds, you're not really permitted free will. You're pre-programmed. How you handle certain situations is, in a sense, preordained. You're not really given a choice. You have to respond in a certain way. You certainly have to do things in a certain way, or else. Or else what? Well, you'll be socially ostracized, or perhaps you'll just feel guilty within yourself. Large parts of the United States are also ruled by shoulds. Shoulds are a foundational element for, let me backtrack for a minute. There are two different kinds of personalities. There's oral expressive and anal retentive. Oral expressive are people who are free-flowing, very open, very giving, and they give you information freely, they give of themselves freely. It's a very spontaneous type of culture. Anal retentive is a culture that basically says, I will let you know when I feel it's the right time to tell you. They withhold information. Anal retentive cultures are not very free. You call someone for help, and you may just get a no. In oral expressive, generally people will do the best that they can. Take a look around the country. You'll see certain regions are one and certain regions are the other. Now, it has nothing to do with the region itself, but rather the populations that came to inhabit these areas and the culture they came from and the belief systems that they carried with themselves. Anal retentive culture is based on shoulds. Oral expressive culture, if they have a should, it's not very powerful. I'll give you an example. I was taking a flight and I was putting my suitcase in the overhead compartment on the other side of the aisle because the one on top of me was all filled up. Common practice. But I was going to a location that was very anal retentive. And a woman pops up and says, "You can't do that." Excuse me? No, you can't put your suitcase here. You have to put it on your side of the aisle. Well, I very politely declined and did it anyway. And she was all in a huff because I violated her shoulds. Not common airline practice, but obviously common practice from where she was from. That's just an example. Shoulds are a very limiting factor in life. They do not permit you to freely go about life, to express yourself, to have opportunity for spontaneity, serendipity. Serendipity is really important in life. And what that means is that things just happen by accident, so to speak, by chance. You're walking down the street. Because you choose to be spontaneous and go into a store, you accidentally run into an old acquaintance. And the old acquaintance says, "Oh, how are you doing?" "Oh, I'm having such difficulty. I'm trying to fill my job." And this is blah, blah, blah. "Oh, that's exactly..." There you go. That's serendipity. And that would not have happened had you stuck to the shoulds where, no, we have to get to the restaurant by 3 o'clock. We do not have time to stop in and get an ice cream before we eat. You should never get ice cream before you eat. It ruins your appetite. Get it after you eat. Another should. Yeah, true. One most people tend to follow and they don't think anything of it. But realistically, it is a should. Shoulds limit freedom of expression, limit the ability to just be yourself. And people carry so many kinds of shoulds from their parents, shoulds from their school environment, shoulds from their neighbors, shoulds from books that they read that are important to them, shoulds from religion, that's a big one, and shoulds from a diverse other number of sources. Shoulds, musts, have tos, these are not factors that allow for a person to be themselves, a person to be free. They are aspects of life that constrain, that stop people from just being who they are and force them into being something else. I've had many, many clients who have ruled so much of their life with shoulds. And when we work it through, they recognize where they came from, generally parents, and are able to totally free themselves of it, oh my God, their life changes. What they do changes. Their sense of joy and happiness in life changes. So many things just open up before them. They can decide to have a new career, have a new spouse, have a new life. Life opens up because life becomes an option that they can decide what life is going to be like. It's not preordained. For a should is a form of preordination. It is determined for the person that this is the way life has to be. And you just don't have a choice because then you're violating what you've been taught. So I hope this little lecture on musturbation is of interest to you and may spur you to free yourself of your own musts and have-tos and really become the person you wish to be. Now, I hope this was of interest to you. And until the next time, bye.